The thing we have to remember about globalization is that although it may increase inequality, it also is very positive in its overall effect on economies. There have been many countries which have been made richer, unquestionably, by globalization. Taiwan is one of them. What should happen instead is that action should be taken to fight the inequality, not to fight globalization. I think the tools for understanding inequality are already in our hands. I think from an academic point of view, we know what's happening and we know what should be done.
Please join me in welcoming today's speaker, Nobel laureate in economics, Professor Eric Baskin.
Inequality has been a big issue in really the whole world for some years now. And understanding why inequality has been increasing is a major intellectual challenge. I think for the case of highly developed economies, traditional economics had a pretty good story for why this occurred. Countries that are involved in international trade will tend to specialize in the areas of the economy where they have a comparative advantage, where they are particularly strong. And for highly developed countries, that area tends to be the highly technical, the highly skill-oriented part of the economy. So international trade is likely to increase inequality in highly developed countries. But curiously, there has also been an increase in inequality in developing countries and in emerging economies. And the theory of comparative advantage doesn't explain that. So for that reason, I was curious, and my co-author, Michael Kramer, was curious, could we propose an alternative theory or a complementary theory which helps us understand why inequality has been rising. The theory that I've developed with Michael Kramer says that the reason why there's been an increase in inequality in poor countries is that the globalization of production has tended to be interested only in the employment of people with high skills, or at least moderate skills. People with low skills are left out. So in poor countries, we have seen people with skills have their incomes rise, and people without skills see their incomes stay the same or maybe even fall. Brazil is one of the, or was one of the most unequal countries in the world. And one reason why they were unequal was because poor families who perhaps got their income from agriculture, they worked on a farm, couldn't afford to send their children to school because the children were needed to work on the farm. But because they weren't going to school, they were staying poor. So what the Brazilian government did was to introduce what's called a conditional cash transfer program where poor families would receive some money, but they would only receive the money if they sent their children to school. So this was good for the families because they got the cash, but it was also good for the children because they got an education and they could break out of the vicious circle. The solution is to make sure that the people without skills get the education and training that makes them employable by the global market production system. For example, we ought to be sending more young people to what are called vocational schools or community colleges, where they learn skills that will actually get them a job. That is the sort of investment that we should be making. And the way to make it is to subsidize the education for students who want to go in that direction. That can't happen automatically. It has to happen with government support. I don't agree that AI will change things as quickly as people are predicting. It's probably not going to happen in the next 10 years, but if we look beyond that, 20 years or so, perhaps it will. And I say this because of historical experience. If you look back to the Industrial Revolution of the late 18th century, early 19th century, you saw a pattern similar to what's going on today. You saw lots of new technology being introduced, and that technology was disruptive in the same way that AI is disruptive. It caused people to lose their jobs. But eventually, many new jobs were created. And this was due to the fact that entrepreneurs figured out how to combine technology with human labor, and we saw productivity for workers increase dramatically. Well, I think that could happen this time too. Nevertheless, I think there are reasons for trying to perhaps slow down AI a bit to enable us to adjust to the changes ahead. Going back to the Industrial Revolution, there was a period of about 30 years before we saw jobs catch up with the new technology. Before that, the technology was destroying jobs and it was not creating new ones. It took about 30 years for that to happen. Well, that suggests that if we want to avoid disrupting our economy too much, we ought to perhaps slow down the AI process a little bit so that society has the chance to adjust. This all depends on how we respond to AI. I certainly believe that if we use it properly, it can become a positive force because it will free us humans from doing routine and not particularly imaginative work, and it will mean that the people who are still working will be doing creative and original thinking. And instead, we might imagine that people will derive their income not from necessarily working, but from ownership of their personal data. But if we were awarded ownership of our personal data and companies had to pay for that, that would be a source of valuable income to us. So in the same way that if I invent something, I can get a patent on it and get income from the patent. But in order to reach that happy outcome, it will be necessary to reinvent education because people will need to learn. So education will be a form of personal enrichment, not a means to an economic end. I think education will mostly be about how do you personally enrich yourself by pursuing activities that you find fulfilling. If we do that, then no matter what happens, people will be able to prepare themselves for work in a new environment. I think from an academic point of view, we know what's happening and we know what should be done. What is missing is the political will to make it happen.
How can we make a politician having longer foresight and looking more forward?
That's a very good question, and it's not an easy one to answer. But I think once again, education is part of the answer. So take a problem like climate change. Climate change is for the most part a very long-term problem. The major effects of climate change are not actually going to be felt for many years. And so you might think, well, with politicians interested only in the next election, this will never get done. However, thanks to education, more people than ever understand the problems of climate change, and a well-informed electorate will demand solutions to these long-term problems. So ultimately, we only get politicians of the quality that we deserve because we elect them. If the public is better informed, and education there is the key, I think there's reason to believe they will elect better politicians.